Today we are dealing with the anatomy of the ear. Topic is external acoustic canal or external auditory canal. Right? So what are the points about the external auditory canal? First one is it is a portion of external ear, no doubt. It is a portion of the external ear, right? So what is the length of the external auditory canal? So length of the auditory canal is equal to 24 millimeter. As we see, the external ear consists of auricle or pinna, and the next one is external auditory canal till the tympanic membrane. So the third one is the limit. Limit of the external auditory canal is from the bottom of the concat to the tympanic membrane. So it constitutes 24 millimeter. So the limit of the external auditory canal is bottom of the concat to the tympanic membrane, and it is the second part of the external ear, right? And the fourth point about the external auditory canal is parts. What are the parts of external auditory canal? The 24 millimeter total length of the external auditory canal is divided as the initial segment of 8 millimeter and the final segment of 16 millimeter. The initial segment of 8 millimeter is called the cartilaginous part, and the 16 millimeter it is the bony part. So the parts are divided into the initial portion, that is cartilaginous, and the final portion, that is bony. Talking about the cartilaginous part, as you know that the external ear consists of initially a external auricle or pinna, then external auditory tube, then tympanic membrane. As we all know that the auricle is also made up of cartilage, right? So the initial cartilage portion is a continuation of the cartilage of the auricle. So among the 5 points of the cartilaginous part, among the 5 points about the cartilage, the first point is it is the continuation of the cartilage, continuation of auricle. Okay, and the second point is about its length. As it is already we know about it. It is of 8 millimeter. Total how many length is 24 millimeter. It's 1/3, that is 8 millimeter is cartilaginous part, rest 16 millimeter is bony part. And third point is about a clinically important point that we will discuss later on another session. It is the some deficiencies are there in the anteroinferior portion of the cartilaginous, right? Consider it as the cartilaginous, its anteroinferior portion has some deficiencies. That deficiencies is called fissures of Santorini. More clinically important thing, fissures of Santorini. And fourth point is about the skin of the cartilaginous part, which is thick. It have two glands, ceruminous and sebaceous. Both secretes wax. So about the skin of the cartilaginous part, it is thick and it have it has two parts, two glands, ceruminous and sebaceous, which both secrete wax, right? And fifth and last point about the cartilaginous part is it is presence of hair. Hair is only present in cartilaginous part. Due to that, staphylococcal infections are more prone in cartilaginous part, less in bony part. So these are the 5 points about the cartilaginous part of external auditory canal. So first point is, as auricle is also made up of cartilaginous, so it is the cartilaginous part of the external auditory canal is the continuation of the cartilage of the, that is which made of pinna. Second is the length. Length is 8 millimeter, and third is most clinically important, that we will discuss on later session, fissures of Santorini. The antero-inferior portion of the cartilaginous part have deficiencies, which is called fissures of Santorini. And fourth one is about the skin of the cartilaginous part, which is thick and have two glands, and has two glands, ceruminous and sebaceous, which both secrete wax. And fifth point is, it consists of hair. Hair is only present in cartilaginous part, which is not in the bony part. Due to that, staphylococcal infections are prone in the cartilaginous part. Okay. We already told about the cartilaginous part of the external auditory canal. So next, the part is bony part. Right? As we see, external auditory canal is divided into two. An initial 8 millimeter segment is cartilaginous, and rest 16 millimeter segment is bony part. Right? So the first point about the bony part, about its length, that is 16 millimeter. Right? Second is, we said that the only cartilaginous part contains hair. So bony part is devoid of hair. Cartilaginous part contains hair, so staphylococcal infections such as pharyngals only present in the cartilaginous part of the external auditory meatus. പക്ഷേ ബോണി പാർട്ടിൽ ഹെയർ ഇല്ലാത്തത് കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അങ്ങനത്തെയുള്ള ഫറങ്കിൾസോ സ്റ്റെഫൈലോകോക്കൽ ഇൻഫെക്ഷൻസോ യാതൊരു സാധ്യതയുമില്ല അവിടെ വരാൻ. The bony part is also devoid of ceruminous glands. We see in the cartilaginous part there are ceruminous glands and sebaceous glands which secrete wax. So the bony part which is devoid of hair and ceruminous glands. Then third point about the bony part is the presence of a narrowed portions in the bony part. Consider it as the cross section of the bony part from the tympanic membrane. Consider it as a tympanic membrane. 6 millimeter lateral to tympanic membrane, there is a narrowed portion of the tympanic membrane, of the bony part. That portion is called isthmus. Isthmus. Third point is isthmus. Right? What is isthmus? Lateral to the tympanic membrane, about 6 millimeter, there is a narrowest portion of the bony part that is called isthmus. Okay? Due to this narrowing, foreign bodies may lodge at this site. That is the importance of isthmus of the bony part. Fourth point about a recess called anterior recess. What is anterior recess? From the diagram, Consider it as the tympanic membrane. There is a portion lies below the deep to the meatus anteroinferior part of the tympanic membrane. That there is a recess confined there that called anterior recess. Right? So where it locates, it is deep to the meatus anteroinferior part of the tympanic membrane, anteroinferior part of the tympanic membrane, and deep to the meatus. It is just adjacent to the tympanic membrane. So due to this anterior recess, it is act as a cesspool, or the locations where debris and discharge of both, that is important, of both external and middle ear infections are lodged. So what is anterior recess? A recess that locates to the deep to the meatus and anteroinferior part of the external auditory canal or the tympanic membrane, just adjacent to tympanic membrane. It acts as a cesspool of debris and discharge, not only of the external ear infections, of both external and middle ear infection, that is anterior recess. Okay. And fifth point is, in early cases, in the case of cartilaginous part, we see two deficiencies in the cartilaginous, same in the anteroinferior part. That deficiencies are called fissures of Santorni, through which the middle external ear infection transfers to parotid and mastoid. Both parotid and mastoid infections are also transferred to the external auditory canal through these deficiencies called fissures of Santorni in the case of cartilaginous part. Here also a deficiency, that deficiency is called foramen of Huschke. Foramen of Huschke, which locates, where it locates? It locates under the anterior recess, anteroinferior part of the meatus, on inferior part of the external tympanic membrane, just below the tympanic membrane, just inferior to the anterior recess. There is a deficiency called foramen of Huschke. Okay, foramen of Huschke. What is the importance of this? Same as that of fissures of Santorni, that is parotid infections and mastoid infections are enters to the external auditory canal through foramen of Huschke. And another point about the foramen of Huschke is it may close about in 4 years old children. Beyond the 4 years old, it may close, and the deficiency may seen up to the 4 years old children. Right? Foramen of Huschke, location, anteroinferior part of the meatus or tympanic membrane, just below the anterior recess. Clinical importance, same as that of fissures of Santorni. The parotid infections are enters into the external auditory canal, or the same vice versa. The infections of the external auditory canal enters into the parotid through the deficiency in the bony part, that is foramen of Huschke. And another point is, it is present up to the 4 years of old in children. Beyond that, it closes. Right? It is 5 points about the bony part, 5 points about the cartilaginous part, 5 points about the bony part. Right? First point is length is 16 millimeter. Second one is it is devoid of hair and ceruminous glands. And third one is isthmus. What is isthmus? It is the narrowest portion of the bony part of the external auditory canal, situated on 6 millimeter lateral to the tympanic membrane. Fourth is about an anterior recess. Anterior recess seen deep to the meatus, anteroinferior part of the external auditory canal, just below the tympanic membrane. What is the importance of anterior recess? It acts as a cesspool of debris and discharge important both in external ear infections and middle ear infections. And the last point is as a deficiency which occurs in the anteroinferior part of the anterior recess or the tympanic membrane or external auditory canal, which is in the bony part of the external auditory canal, that is foramen of Huschke. It important same as that of fishes of Santorini, that is parotid infections are enters into the external auditory canal through this deficiency is called foramen of Huschke. Foramen of Huschke is only present in up to the age of 4, and sometimes in adults, sometimes in adults also it's even sometimes, but very rare. It is seen mainly in the case of 4 years of old children. That is about foramen of Huschke, and that is all about the bony part of the external auditory canal.